Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. And right now we are sitting here in West Mersey. Today's video is going to be all about trying to turn this town in particular, as this is going to be the dummy town as it were, into something a little bit more British. As you can see at the end of the last video, I actually added in some Victorian style housing over there, so that is going to be something that will be appearing a lot more in this particular video, and I'm going to start adding in a little bit more detail here and there and just seeing how I can lay the roads out to make this look as British as possible. Now the only downside I see happening here is that we might start losing vehicles. At this point in time, that is not so much of a problem, but if time goes on and we have this as a problem, I might have to figure something out to bring more vehicles in to make it actually look kind of like a lived-in world instead of a completely and utterly empty world as we get into the 1900s. But that is a problem that I'm going to have for later, so make sure you stay tuned to see this town start becoming as British as I can get it. Right, so first thing is first, I need to start working out how I'm going to start placing these houses. Now, we already have an opportunity to place housing along here, so I'm actually going to make use of that. So to start with, we are going to look for not industries, assets, and we're going to look for UK. There we go. We should be able to find the housing that we're after. So there is a lot of housing, as you can see. There's some weird generic UK houses, some Victorian terrace houses, but honestly, I think the houses I have are better scale, better size as well. Again, I'm not entirely certain how this is going to pan out for us when I go ahead and start placing these in. So here are some houses. Now I could use these houses on this one, but I very much like the look of these ones. Obviously there are these as well that I can use, but I'll use them in a different place, and I will certainly be using some of these as well in different areas. But just for now, this area here, I'd like it all to be this style of housing. Now fences can be enabled, and I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here as to how I place these, because as you can see, I could probably fit another house in there. You have to be fairly careful on this. Enable the population, of course. Brick colour is bright, all colour can be random, and we will have variant 1 on the roofs. So I shall place this in, let's say about there. There we go. In fact, that's not the right colour of roof, so we'll start that again. I will, of course, different areas will have different roofs. And garden, do you know what, that's fine for a garden, some trees and stuff. It's nothing too major, so I'll place that right up against the curb like so. There we go. Now obviously, I think as time goes on, there are some problems with the gardens here actually. These things do stick out. It's not something... I can always configure these to not have gardens if I find that this is not going to work for us. In fact, I think this is not going to work. So let's get rid of the gardens, and I can always fill in gardens as I want myself. So again, we can stick a second bunch in here. Going to have to be a little bit careful. You can see here, we're going to have to get right up close to be able to fit these houses in. So I'll pop them in the right there. How are these houses? Now again, the gardens are not doing great. But that's fitting in quite nicely. I feel like we could perhaps move this just a little bit further along. So as far forward as we can. And over here. As far over to this side as also possible. There we go. I think that could probably have got closer. Again, I do want to make sure that this is really properly done. It is quite important to get this properly done. There we go. That keeps that alleyway nice and open. Now I can get rid of this house, and for these ones you can see that we are going to have to let's see, we'll have to drop the amount of houses we have because of the back garden. Gets rid of that tree, I guess, for now. So I'm trying not to get the back gardens to clash too much. There we go. That's okay. And then over here, I guess we can do ones without the fence. And we'll just put maybe, let's just put 2 here without a fence, and then right over here I can make something a little bit of a grassy patch or something, and I'll place some trees over here, so, or some, oops, we'll put some a few little bushes maybe. That just looks terrible. I guess I could put a fence of some sort. So if we go fence, let's look at just some sort of a fence. For example, this one. How? No. Just a simple wooden fence. No. I want a specific fence. Maybe if I search wall. Of course, I'm going to get loads of these different types of walls, but basic stone wall, I see no trouble with this one. If I can lower it down enough. There we go. We can just do there to there. That's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. So that's that section done. Okay. Next up, we need to look at perhaps some housing along here. Now, before I do the housing along this area, perhaps I should work on doing the housing in this area. Right here. So things are starting to slowly take shape. And again, this could be an episode where it takes a while to get what I'm after, but that is the point of this episode. I find it funny when these do not disappear. You break them and they're still there. Right, let's go ahead and figure this one out. Enable the fence. And I think I'll try and place these in groups of 3. Could I do like that? Yeah, let me try and place this in groups of 5 then. Like so. And perhaps before I do that, some smoothing of the... No, let's do this. And can I do this both sides, just like that? Now some smoothing of the ground would be required. I am now on the latest version of Transports Fever 2, which came out not so long ago. So things may look a little different. I haven't yet really explored it. Not really too fussed. If I'm to be completely honest, I'm more interested in getting my build done. So to me, that is the more important thing. That is what I'm trying to do. Right, out there. Let's leave a bit of a gap. How far down the road are we? Too far. Out there. It's not looking too bad. This is looking a little bit more uphill than I would like. So I'm going to drop these to 2 houses there. And continue lining it up as I need to. About there. About there. Can I make it to the end if I add an extra house? I think that would do nicely. About there. And actually, with this one, one side only, because on this side I would go ahead and swing this around all the way and add a 4th house. That way we can have this one pretty much to the end of the road. So that is the plan on that one. Now I just need to also, the only problem here is that, okay, it isn't ideal, so I'll do smaller increments for this. There. And there. 3 houses. And 3 to the end. And there. That looks pretty good. Quite happy with how that looks. Now of course we've got this road here, so this is where things will start building up in stranger ways. Now whilst I am doing that, I need to find other places where there are housing. So this looks like this is going to be a town centre, so what I want to do here is, these are commercial and residential buildings. I'm going to break all of these, and in here I'd like to place the larger houses. And so we're going to put this one, so I can do that. That's not too bad. So I'd certainly like to place larger. How does the garden look? These gardens look terrible at the moment. But yes, I think this is going to be how things end up panning out for this. So we'll do one lot there, another lot. Can we do that? Actually gives us an opening in the road if we want to take it. Turn this around and you'll see there that the gardens will overlap, but what I can do is I can just say, can I? Oh, I cannot disable the stone wall. That's okay. Do you know what? I'm okay with that. I'll place some trees in there and see if that helps. Is that correct? That is the correct amount. And do that. And what do you know? I think that looks pretty good overall. Okay, so things are starting to happen. I'm actually going to start building in more roads now to see where things are going to go. So now if you look from here, it's starting to look a lot more like a town centre. So we're going to have some residential here. What are these? These are all commercial, so I'm going to leave the commercial here. What I will do though is I will bust this side. I'll probably bust that, and I will fit some residential here, because I think that is going to be the best option I have. So we'll do that. Then we'll do... Can I just do 4 here? 4 and 4. Will it fit? It's going to be tight. Let me see. No harm in trying. How does that look? Now you know what? That's okay. I'm not too against that. That looks okay. So all of these have population, as you can see, and we have some. Some more residential buildings here. Now again, I'm curious as to what I would do with this. The thing is, I feel like this road is going to end up being a much larger road, in which case we're going to have to start taking down... Is that going to be a much larger road? I think it is. Could I upgrade the road right now? Let me see. Four lane. Let me upgrade. Let me upgrade this road. I want to see what happens. How much does it mess things up? Let's do it all the way up to there. That is one road that's going to be upgraded. Odds are this road is also going to be upgraded. So I never considered that. So we'll do that all the way up to there. There, and also just immediately, because I realised what will happen, I need to lock these. Oh no, they're already locked. Okay, so that must be one of the things that the update's done. That when you upgrade a road, it stays in whatever the earlier configuration was. Now, how does it look for pavements? Oh look, pavements have disappeared. So I think what we're going to have to do is demolish that, demolish this one. Yeah, demolish you. I should have thought of this before. Clearly I wasn't thinking, so that's my own stupidity. But four buildings. 4 is a bit too much. I feel like these buildings are quite... I think they're quite big. Is that not going to go away? No. Turn that all the way around. And I think about there will work nicely. Although then I think this one might be slightly out of where it needs to be, so... Oh, now it disappeared. Okay. No idea. No idea whatsoever. Probably about there. There we go. That will do. That will do nicely. And I guess we can have a... No, that isn't it. Streets, a little pedestrian path through here. Wider pedestrian path. Why not? No, actually, do a narrow pedestrian path, and then we can put some. We can place some trees there. That would be nice. Have a few little trees. There we go. So that is that done. So this side is going to have some commercial stuff. Get rid of that. Do we have a high street? No. Commercial. No. UK. We have a UK industrial unit. Carpets, tyres. Quick fit garage. Old style quick fit garage. A block of flats. Not something that you'd have it back in that day. None of this would be something you'd have. Some terraced houses, of course, that's some of the things that we are currently looking at. So I'd like to place some more. I think lets me place some more of these houses just here. But you can see how that is going to have an impact on the size of the road. So what I think I'd much rather do is place the houses on this side. You get these smaller houses and leave that area at the back and just fill it with trees. Because I think that would make more sense, in my opinion anyway. Please feel free to disagree. Sure, we'll use that colour. I wasn't expecting it to be that colour, but sure. Why not? So you can see there are people spawning here, but I have yet to see any vehicles spawning. As a matter of fact, I will use one of those advanced people magnet things to perhaps see if I can spawn the right population. That's looking pretty realistic. What's you? Go away. And let's go ahead and get the right variants for this. No streets, please. Just a couple of houses. Sure, if you just want that, that's fine. I'm not fussed. 2 slightly turned. Now we can put 3. Oh no, we cannot. It's going to be 2. Come on, autosave. There we go. And then I suppose we do the same on this side. There we go. Okay, I might fix this one as well. Try and get rid of one house on this. Yeah, I think I will. Let's get rid of just a single house. In fact, can I not just do this? Just to get the height a little bit better. Yep, that seems to work. I think it was that last house that caused problems. Okay. So that's that done, that's that area done. Things are looking pretty good there. I'm going to put some more residential on this side. Areas where perhaps the AI have not yet built up, I'm certainly going to look at building things up. So for example, I think let's place some residential down here. Let's also change any other roads that we know are going to change in size. So For example, this road needs to be a little bit bigger, in my opinion anyway. That road is going to be a larger road. That road is fine. That road's a wide road. I think this road is going to be larger, so we'll change that. I probably would end up changing this road here. Again, just sort of preparing and being careful about what roads are where before I put different things, you know, the housing in. Right, here we go, more housing. Oops. UK. Same kind of housing, right there. Now I could place this in twos, but I think I'm just going to try and place it in threes at the moment. Might be a little bit easier to do. It depends on the, I guess it depends on the radius of the corner. So place that, remove that, and then we're okay there. We're then going to turn this in a little. This is where things will start looking just a smidge different. But I'm just, this again, it's all about testing and trial and error, seeing how things work. I think 2 here is going to be better. Yep. And then perhaps even 2 here as we go around the corner. To here. How's that looking on the road? Actually quite smooth, so I'm happy about that. I could perhaps even, I'm not sure. I'm just thinking about other things that I could potentially do. What this is going to do is this is going to make the buses quite profitable. At least I think it's going to make the buses profitable. Could do something completely and utterly. Nope. Looks like it's just that. It could mess everything up, but I'm hoping it does not. Right. That's not too bad. A few places with the tiniest of gaps. But given that this is not city skylines and the difficulty of actually just creating that, I think I've done all right over here. So again, you'll see these people will walk in and out of these houses, or yeah, you can just see that they're coming in and out of these houses, which is great. But if we click here, we do not see those numbers rise, which is something that I'd like to perhaps figure out how to do. And I've realised just how big a task what I am trying to do is going to be. This is a really big task. Just looking at this is going to be a phenomenally big task. But that's okay. That's the point of this series. And again, this will probably be a more interesting time lapse when I make these time lapsed. Rather than farms, you actually get to see me building, well, this, which is far different to what you've seen before. Right, this is where on the inside we're going to have to try and perhaps do something like so that the fences are going to collide at the back. Again, making the best of what we have, I think is the order of the day here. Just try my best to make this work. Can I somehow fit another double in there? It might actually be possible. It is possible. So you can just see at the back how the houses do tend to hop over each other a little. But overall, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So now if you start looking at, or if you start looking at the city, for example, let's say I was to go into something like that and looked at the city there, yes, that is starting to look pretty British, actually. Come on. Oh dear. So that is pretty good. Now, of course, the other problem is going to be the industrial and the commercial. That's my bigger concern, is the industrial and commercial aspect of this. So obviously I want to try and force commercial to grow in certain areas and industrial to grow in other areas, but I'm not sure how successful I'm going to be with that. Right, given that there's quite a gap here, I'm thinking, what if I try to bring the road back as far as no. I have an idea. First off, please smooth this terrain out. Thank you. I think that doing it like this is actually going to allow us to maybe put a little row of trees, and occasionally we do have that in the UK, so between houses you might have a row of trees. Wow, the railway's right here. I didn't even realise how close we were to the railway there. Okay, great. So I just heard the noise. I was just like, oh, okay. That's not something I thought we were doing. And here comes the turn again. So I'm thinking maybe I'm being a little bit too careful at the moment. So we'll see what happens if I'm not quite as careful with this. Do things mess up? That's the question I'd like to pose here. That's not going to work. So there's a tiny gap there again. But realistically, that does look pretty good. I can leave that as it is. I can still see some houses coming up, and my word, the amount of passengers. Now that is something that we're going to have to be aware of. So, are you a bit? You're a bit lame, aren't you? Because that makes no... What you have just done makes no sense at all. But what I will do is... Where's my depot, road depot? Let's go ahead and buy an additional... Oh. Okay. Let's, I guess, upgrade... How do I upgrade? Oh, line manager. Manage vehicle. There we go. Okay. Why are you? Oh, you're RA. PARD. Could this work? Everywhere so far, that is. Yep, that's everywhere. Not sets line. Replace all vehicles. Coal merchant carts? No. Coal merchants, awesome carts. Right. Replace. So I just replaced all of them. I think it has. Yep, we now have these steam vehicles everywhere. Slightly faster. They probably are not going to help so much with the traffic, the foot traffic. But things are certainly getting there. Now what I need to do, and this is the little sort of cheat part of this, is I need to work out where else I'm going to place roads. So for example, in here I want to place some more roads. How am I going to do it? Where am I going to do it? Well, clearly over here I can place some little roads. I can either make them go straight down like that, which I think is fine for this one. I think for those two we'll do that, which is not a problem. I need to very quickly... Is it tools? Yep, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's one of the new features. So I can do this, and just because I can, I'll do that, and I will, again, just because I can, I will do that. Make sure that these roads are player owned. Much faster than going about doing it the other way. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to build up what would become the city centre. So this area is clearly going to become the city centre, so I'm trying to build up that sort of an area. Now on this side, what I want to do is have enough space for these sorts of houses. So the way I'll do that is I'll go ahead and do a no population one, and I'm just going to say, well, what happens if I stick some housing? In fact, how do I want these roads? Do I want them to go down? Do I want them to go across? I think I'd want them to go across, so I'll have a straight road like that, and then like that. I think that is what I would like it to do. So for me to measure that, what I need to first start off by doing, and start off by placing some housing along here. And again, it can be just really rough. This is how I'm going to do this. It's going to be pretty rough. So there and there, and then that's fine for me there. And then I know that I want housing on the opposite side, so now all I have to do is ensure that I can get these houses in where I want them to be. So for example, to get these houses in, I realistically need them to be something like that. Yep. So I need them somewhere there. So that tells me that I can now delete these houses. That tells me the road needs to go here. And that's how I'm going to work this. So I need the road to be about here. So obviously I cannot put the road there, so the nearest place I can place the road is there, and so I will. And so there's going to be a little bit of a gap, but that is where I'm going to place the road. Now I get to just select how big I want my road and what I want to do with it. So I could always do that to the road if I wanted to, or I can curve the road like so, which I think I will from here. Curve the road nicely to run like that, and then run it out like that. Okay, great. So I've done that, and you'll be able to see now on this side we should also be able to have one set of housing, but we've also got the option of another set. Before we do that, actually, I have to remember to do this. So now I'm just going to place more of this housing in, and we want to figure out exactly where the next lot is going to go. So we know that this is now a lot closer, roughly. So you're going there, you're going there. We're going to have a set over here, roughly like that. So that tells me that my next street, should I want one, is going to go out here. And in fact, I would very much like to upgrade this part of the road. Very much like to do that, and I can leave the extra gap for the large road, and now I can work on getting that next one in. And so if I want to have a road, for example, from out of here, so I can go ahead and do this. So this is apparently a main road at the moment. Oh, I turned this into a main road for some reason. Why did I do that? No idea. No idea whatsoever. But I can just do that and then say, right, the next road I want is going to be about here. So I'll go ahead and do that. I tell you what, I just want that road to be perfectly straight along here. So we'll do that, and then we've got the ability to have housing along here, and we've got housing that will go around here, and it will join up, and there might be a little bit in the middle. So now I know for a fact that my housing is good in this area. Can I press enter to confirm the destruction on those? No. So now when it comes to housing, that area can be filled in. Then I could always say, well, hang on a minute, if I want housing there, what about if I stick a road straight down here, a small road? Do I want to do something like that? Or better still, if I take a road and I do this, let me do that, and then let me do that, turn it in, and do that. And now I've got myself an additional option. So I can say, right, I would like some housing here. It doesn't, again, I just realised this doesn't really matter which way I put that. So if we want two sets of housing there, quite nicely, this road should go, oops, come on, straight road please. That road should go and fit pretty well right there. That's pretty good. There we go. So that's another road in, and you can see the town starting to take shape, and that is exactly what I was after. Now obviously this is going to take a very, very long time, but I want to see how, I'm curious to see how this all actually takes shape. What I'll do is, that's a narrow road, that's a larger road, so that's good. Small road, small road, small road. I could even, if I wanted to, bring that all the way down there, or bring that down there, should I decide to do such a thing. Right, okay. So how are things looking now? The station is extremely busy with the amount of passengers, and this is all because of the housing. Now what I could do is I could disable the population in some of the houses around the place. You shouldn't be there. I'm going to put something specific there. Yeah, I could disable the population for some of the houses around the place, and I'd also like to see, what I should do is I should bring this up to 1971. I know 10 new vehicles are available. Great. The reason I do that is that I should then be able to see anything new that grows in here. So as I'm building things up, what's new, what's going to grow. Now I can place housing along here. We could also place shops along here, so I am going to do so before the end of this video. So I definitely want housing here. And what sort of housing do I want? So it's opposite the station. Really, I probably want some of the larger housing here, because it'd be right opposite the station. Is that where, would we have larger housing, or would you have, no, you know what, we'll stick with small housing. And certainly you could, if you wanted to, I think I gave it enough room for this. Yeah, just about. Gave it enough room for housing to be backing in onto the station, which I think is pretty cool as well. In fact, I am going to put that in. Population, gardens. No gardens. That is something I want to see. Let's make that a little bit smaller. Okay. There. And there. Slightly off, but I think I've got to push this one in as best as I can there. Reduce the number here. Put that in like so there. And see if I can. No, that it needs to be that. Why are all the doors red here? Oh no, wait, I see a black door there. Now obviously all these people are going to want to get onto the train, and there's not much I can do about that. But yeah, there you go. That is actually not too far from being incredibly realistic right there. That is pretty good. And so really we could, at this point in time, place some housing here too, if we wanted to. Obviously the housing will eventually be demolished, but you know, for now, if you want to put some housing in here for people to come along. I think I will end up reducing some of the population. I'll do that off camera. I'll figure out which ones to just drop the population from. So in fact what I'll do is I'll do that and the same on this side, and then I'll stop placing any with population. That and that. No more population. Gets rid of you and you, and then go there. Like so. Then on this side, similarly, like so. Can I do that to it? There. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And then on this side, I guess I can do the same all the way to the end. No need to do population again here. This is just going to cause us grief. Like that, all the way to the end, and yeah, that's fairly realistic. Maybe the station wouldn't have quite so many houses around there at that point in time. Maybe the road would be closer to the station, but certainly I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Things are taking shape, I would say, and starting to look more like they should, in my opinion. Anyway, by all means, let me know if you think no, that doesn't look anything like what it should. Then, but by all means, let me know. And I'll get rid of all of this here, and I'm going to place. Let's see what I can place here. These kind of houses? No, I want to place some of these. again, with or without population? Let's do a couple with population. There and there, and one more here. So these ones have population. Then I'll get rid of the population, and I will do a bunch along here. You go away. There, and then I'll then add some more population in for this area. That's a fairly sharp corner, that's okay. It gets rid of the population once more. There we go. Hey, now that doesn't look too bad at all. That does not look so bad whatsoever. And what we can then do, and I think this would be quite correct in my opinion. In fact, it would be fairly correct to do that here. Yep. I just had a thought. It'd be pretty correct for me to do this here. Let's go ahead and grab some oak trees. Yeah, let's single oak, because I'm going to mix them up a bit like that, and then over here I guess bring that down, bring that up, and just a few, okay, a little bit higher, a few trees in this area like so, and along here as well. I'll delete some to clean it up a bit, but this is something that does happen in the UK, so it isn't that we do not have trees like this just randomly behind houses and stuff. This is a thing. Did a tree just spawn in? Oh boy. There we go. You certainly just place some along here. Some darker ones as well. There, and then I'll just go back down to single trees and place some far neater along here. Yep, that seems to work fairly well. Yep, that's working fairly well, I think. Now all we want to do is delete any trees that are in the wrong place. For example, you and autosave. Come on. This tells me that this is where this episode really should be ending. Come on, there we go. That's you. I don't really want you there. You guys are okay because I placed you before. You need to go. You need to go. Guess that's okay. You can go. And aside from that, yeah, that is not looking too bad. That is fairly consistent with the UK actually. Yeah, that is fairly consistent. A lot of trees just in this area. Realistically, maybe we could have just turned that into a farm for now. But that's given a good look at how we're going to start working on this. So I don't know what the best angle is going to be here. Perhaps the best angle is going to be something along these lines. Oh, I know a good angle, but it's a matter of, can I get the train in the right place at the right time for this angle? Right. First off, I need to find the train. So I want that train to be here, and then I will decide from there whether this angle is a good one or not. But that is where I'm going to end this video. Obviously, you can see just how long this is going to take. Just for one town, I could be doing this for 6-7 hours just for this one town to build it up to that sort of status. So it is going to take some time. Okay, let's pause you there. Now let's see if I can get the angle I am after on this. So, can I? Starting to. Maybe I want to zoom out too much because there's this whole area that doesn't look as it's supposed to. Then there's areas that do and areas that do not. So I really would like to focus on, actually, if I focused on it this way, that may really start looking a lot more realistic. If I focus on it like this, have that as realistic UK town, you'll have the train there, you'll have the farms, yeah, everything's going to look great here. So let's fast forward that, and I'll say thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Transports Fever 2, the UK modded series. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon if you can do so at www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ECGadget LP for both Twitter and Instagram. That is all from me, and I will see you next time in Transports Fever 2, where I am certainly going to be working more on some of this. Again, I'm not sure whether I should do some of this on camera, some of this off camera, some of this time lapse, etc. And that is, by the way, what I was after. I wanted to see if there were any particular buildings that were being built in 71, and that has actually helped quite a bit. So now I have an idea as to what is and is not being built. What's really annoying just there is that I placed some trees here and the AI have decided to build there, because that's going to be a pain. Those were supposed to be trees. That is definitely going to be a pain. But anyway, that is all from me, and I will see you next time in Transport Fever 2, the UK modded series. Hang on a minute. This is another angle that's starting to look a bit more realistic, a bit more British, right? Slowly but surely. I'll see you next time.